Back in 2010, The Guardian released an interview where it asked a bunch of well-known writers, successful authors, to give their rules for writing. This was inspired by Elmore Leonard's 10 Rules for Writing. Leonard is the author of Get Shorty and Be Cool, and he wrote a book called 10 Rules for Writing. It came out that year, and so they listed his 10 rules and then followed them up with a bunch of other authors. But anyway, I read through all of these lists. I was inspired to do this by another YouTuber I saw recently who covered Jonathan Franzen's 10 Rules for Writing. I didn't realize that Franzen had ever done anything like that. Many of these rules that many of these writers gave are at least a little bit tongue-in-cheek. They're serious, yes, but not so serious, which is good to remember that to be a successful writer, kind of an unwritten rule that nobody mentions is don't take yourself too seriously, or the craft too seriously. Respect it for what it is, give it the respect it deserves, give yourself the respect you deserve for the work that you do, but never overrate your own importance or the importance of the work in general. Always try to put everything in its context. So, the tongue-in-cheek rules, absolutely fun, and you're free to agree with them or disagree with them as you will. When Jonathan Franzen says don't use then as a conjunction, from an English standpoint, teaching my younger students their grammar rules, that is correct. But from a creative writing standpoint, I do use that sometimes, and I'm not going to apologize for it. My favorite list of writing rules in this article, though, is from a writer who I haven't read also. It's P.D. James, very famous crime writer, British crime and mystery writer. She passed away in 2014, a few years after this was published, but I do know the name quite well. She gave a list of only 5 rules, but she took it mostly seriously, and I actually can't really disagree with any of these rules. Always keeping in mind that rules are
more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
So James's first rule, this is P.D. James, the mystery writer, not E.L. James, the that writer. Rule number 1, increase your word power. Words are the raw material of our craft. The greater your vocabulary, the more effective your writing. We who write in English are fortunate to have the richest and most versatile language in the world. Respect it. Of course, I think you also want to pay attention to wordcraft, even if you're not writing in English, for my non-English speaking audience out there. Words are important in whatever language you write. Think about your wordcraft. Rule 2, read widely and with discrimination. Bad writing is contagious. I think I've said that about 1,000 times on this channel. Writers are readers. Good writers read well. They read broadly and deeply. I don't think it is a bad thing to read bad writing sometimes. Matter of fact, I think it can be very useful to help one distinguish between bad writing, good writing, and my writing. Where does my writing fall on that continuum? If you're only ever reading the classics by the greats, you're always going to feel that you fall short. You're like a white belt at a jiu-jitsu class rolling with nothing but black belts and wondering why he can never pull off any moves. You've got to get a variety. But yes, you do want to focus on the good. Primarily focus on models of inspiration that are going to inform your subconscious to help you grow as a writer yourself. So limit the amount of bad you expose yourself to, but you do want to read widely with at least some discrimination. Don't just plan to write, write. It is only by writing, not dreaming about it, that we develop our own style. Yep, I feel called out by this one. I am a writing teacher by profession, so I spend a lot more time thinking about and talking about and reading about writing than I do actually doing it. It's part of what this channel is for. This is kind of an outlet for that. It is my field of study as well as my field of practice. So if you want to be a successful writer, I guess, don't be exactly like me, but you do need to write. You do need to write regularly. And I write as regularly as I can, always needing to increase my frequency. Number 4, write what you need to write, not what is currently popular or what you think will sell. Oh my God, this one is 100% true. You cannot write to the market simply because what the market is today is not what the market is going to be tomorrow. And if you're writing to what is currently trending, you've already missed the trend. That's just the way it goes. If you start writing vampire books when Twilight is already a bestseller, you're one of trillions, it's only a slight hyperbole, who are failing in that market. If you really want to write vampire romance novels, then who cares if Twilight already came out? Who cares if Vampire Diaries exist? Write your vampire romance novels. But it needs to be what you want to write for your reasons, not because you think that that is going to be a commercial selling point. It's not just so you can make your writing more artistic. I'm not trying to moralize here and tell you not to focus on the commercial and to focus only on the art. That is up to you. Your goals are up to you. But even if you do want to be commercially successful, even if that is part of your goal, and it is a goal for a lot of writers, even those who do care about the art, if you do want to be commercially successful, then it also behooves you not to try to write about what's trending or what you currently think will sell. Because again, you've already missed the boat. It's gone. Don't go chasing trends. Set the next trend. Create your own story that will drive its own movement, or fail in the attempt, but do the best you absolutely can. It is better to go down in flames being yourself than to latch onto coattails and try desperately to grab some piece of strewn off success. And number 5, open your mind to new experiences, particularly to the study of other people. Nothing that happens to a writer, however happy, however tragic, is ever wasted. Yeah, I mean, not all of your writing is going to come from your own experience, but the broader your experience is and the more deep you examine those experiences, the more fuel you're going to have for your writing. Hey, sweetie. So fussy. So don't be afraid to talk to people. I say that as an Asperger's introvert. It's not my forte, but I do learn things by doing so. Talking to people and people watching. Neither of which are really something I'm super comfortable with, but when I do it, not creepy people watching, just, in public, just hanging out, observing things, not stalking. When I do that, I do learn more about creating real life characters with real life problems. I learn more about veracity in writing, and my writing ultimately becomes better. I did some of that in my studies and prep work for my novel that I was writing for graduate school, and it definitely improved everything that I was doing in terms of characterization there. So by all means, these rules are worth at least considering. Every rule can be violated at some point or another. There are exceptions to every possibility in writing. In all of it, of course, is context dependent and dependent on what your goals are. What are you trying to do with your writing, with your stories? But I do have to advocate for a P.D. James list here. There's nothing here that I can really disagree with. Increase your word power. Yes. Read widely and with discrimination, like using your mind. Yes. Don't just plan to write. You want to be a writer, you got to do that, or you're not a writer. Write what you need to write, not what is currently popular or what you think will sell, of course. That's just, in spite of a lot of our motivations, that really is the best route to both fulfillment, artistic fulfillment, and financial success. Open your mind to new experiences. Yes, of course. If you are continually always in your own room, never going outside, never experiencing anything else, never having your own adventures, then you're continually writing about the adventures of other people that you've read about or seen. And eventually you're going to just run out of the material like that, or it's going to get stale. If you have your own takes on those adventures, you add more veracity, more truth to your stories, and your stories get broader and deeper. So all of these rules, very worth following. I've got my own list of 6 rules that I gave a few months ago, so check that video out. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below. What are your rules for writing? And what rules do you feel can and should be broken at any cost? And while you're down there, consider becoming a member and getting some more deep, interesting discussions here and getting some videos early, all for a very low price. I really appreciate all my current members, and I would thank you guys so much for joining the cause. And until next time, good luck and good writing from me and all of my critters here. Peace.